It's not fancy gadgets and expensive furniture that make home. It's Lynn giving me some squashed marshmallows. You and Kevin on the duck's night. Seeing him get married, knowing he's still a kid. Helping them. That's enough, isn't it?
It's a lot. But it's not everything.
Never seen so many presents. You okay?
Just the usual. It was nice of your Mum to bring in this.
Yeah, well, she's just trying to make a good impression. Hey, why don't you skip school? Well, one day won't matter.
It's our first exam.
Let's both stay home. No, serious. You won't do any good if you're sick.
I've still got to try. Oh, I'm terrified. I haven't done anywhere near enough study.
No, neither have I. That's because you couldn't get your hands off me.
Yeah, sure. Anyway, it doesn't matter if you don't study. You're so brainy, it never makes any difference.
And you're a married for something. Get off my ego.
We've got to do something about thank you notes for all that stuff.
Yeah, it's not stuff. It's loot. Pretty good loot, too.
Yeah. Getting married's profitable, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, that should keep me going.
You need something warm inside you if you're going to be on a picket line all day.
Could you believe I have to sneak sugar into my coffee at work?
What for?
Oh, my boss, the crazy dentist, almost throws a fit if you even mention sugar. He says it's the curse of the modern world. Oh, doesn't this look terrible?
It's a uniform, love. It's not meant to be high fashion.
Oh, it's not even low fashion.
Stick with it.
I thought you looked nice.
Yeah, so did I. I did some sums when you went to bed last night. Not good. Got many unpaid bills?
The telephone and electricity bill came in. They're both pretty high. Don't have to be paid until the end of the month, though.
Anything else?
No, not at the moment.
Well, if the strike lasts 2, maybe 3 weeks, we should be all right. Any longer than that, though, and we'll have to tighten up.
Looks like I'd better break out Mum's depression recipes.
I hope that doesn't include bread and butter pudding. I remember Fiona calling that depression food. You know what? She's not wrong.
Oh, you're getting through them early.
Yep.
If you're after an increase in wages, it won't work. I've heard your employers are a Scrooge.
Funny that. I heard the same thing.
Did you now?
I want to get through them early so I can go to the hospital.
You haven't forgotten that John's invited us to the stud?
That's why I want to get it all done quickly, so we're back in time.
Oh, clever, aren't you?
Yep.
How's about I come with you?
To the hospital? But you don't like him.
Well, let's say I'm warming to him.
Okay.
You know, I've been thinking, with Wayne lying flat on his back, he might need some help with the Woombai project. We could maybe help each other, you know, toss a few ideas around.
Anything to keep his enthusiasm up.
I wish I could say I was doing it for altruistic reasons.
What are they when they're at home?
Unselfish.
Oh.
Fact of the matter is, I need a project, something I can throw myself into.
Scott.
Otherwise, I'm going to spend all my time worrying about whether his going away means he's gone off me.
Well, whatever your reasons are, I'm sure Wayne will be grateful.
Oh, I forgot to see if it's still all right for my friends to come out today.
Sure. Anyway, I owe you for yesterday.
What?
For looking after the Talbots when I was tied up. You did a lot of good groundwork on the sale.
I've listened to you and Mr. Hamilton enough.
Doesn't matter how you did it. It was a good job. Mr. Hamilton thought so too when I told him.
Did he?
Yeah. Not that he was in any sort of mood. He's got too many problems with the strike.
Does it affect him that much?
You better believe it. And it's going to affect us if it goes on much longer.
Well, how's it going to worry us?
Have a look through the book sometime. A lot of money's channeled here from the transport division.
I thought this place was paying its own way.
No, just about. It's doing better all the time, but Without the transport division as a backup, things could be pretty grim.
Patricia said something like that yesterday. Thought she was carrying on.
Not at all.
Gather you didn't have the nerve to tell Wayne the truth last night.
He's perfectly aware that we could be in financial trouble if it goes on too long.
Did you discuss Woombye?
What about it?
Oh, honestly, Gordon, you know perfectly well there'll be no Woombye project if you don't do something. And you know how Wayne's counting on it.
There's no point in upsetting him until I get a clear idea of what can be done.
And when will that be? I think Wayne might be getting a little anxious, don't you?
I've come up with a possible solution. I don't want to discuss it until I find out whether the men are agreeable.
Is it what we talked about yesterday? I am involved, you know.
I've asked their union rep to come over and talk about it.
Here?
Yes, Patricia, here. If you're not going to be pleasant, I'd like you to stay out of our way. If that's not too inconvenient.
Not at all.
Good.
Oh, listen, I'm really pleased Wayne's letting you help him. For a while there, I thought he was going to try and do it all by himself.
How could he refuse? You know, I'm getting so keen, I could even take on the riding lessons myself.
I think the idea is to teach people how to stay on horses.
You want a swift kick in the pants?
Hi. Just in time. There's a mare foaling in one of the stalls. I didn't want you to miss it.
Oh, I think I'll give it a miss, actually. I don't think the stomach's up to it.
You wouldn't think she was born in the country.
Well, if you're so keen, why don't you go and have a look?
I intend to. Whereabouts, Johnny?
Third stall.
Oh, good. I'll tell you all the details after.
She's in a good mood.
I think it's all a bit of an act. She's trying to pretend Scott's not worth worrying about.
I thought her theory was no man's worth worrying about.
That was before Scott. Just goes to prove nobody's safe when they meet the right person.
Including you?
Very much including me.
Oh, for heaven's sake, Gordon, stop pacing. It won't make the drivers decide any faster. Have you got an alternative if the answer is no?
Yes?
Oh, I see. Another secret.
If you're going to be sarcastic, at least try to be clever about it. Yes, Gordon Hamilton. Yes, Liz. I see. There's no way they'll change their mind. Yeah. No, I understand. Okay, thanks. Bye.
So they turned you down.
That's right.
Who are you ringing?
Andrew. Gordon Hamilton. On the pad. Andrew, you made an offer a while back to buy out my transport division. You still interested? Good.
How's that?
Perfect. Ah, to think that little foal is going to grow up into a beautiful big thing like you. Oh.
You can be really soppy sometimes.
Oh, look who's talking. You wait till you have a bub.
Well, I hope it doesn't look like that.
Quit stalling and get on. Come on. Will you? How's that feel?
That's a long way down.
All the more reason not to fall off.
Yeah.
John! Had a call from Mr. Hamilton. He wants us over at the house.
What for?
Don't know, but it sounds important.
Okay. Will you two be right by yourselves?
Oh, don't you worry. Dale Rogers has got nothing on us.
Who's Dale Rogers?
I think I just dated myself.
Well, that's about it. If you could tell the men at the stud to let me know by this evening, I'd be grateful. I meant what I said. There's absolutely no obligation on anyone.
You're asking us to be scabs.
What I'm asking for is help in making the best of a bad situation. I've got a buyer who's interested. Before I sell, I've got some goods to move. To fulfill outstanding
He's
contracts.
going to be blackballed, you know.
It doesn't matter, I'm getting out of it.
Well, what exactly do you want the men to do?
Help tomorrow morning with the loading. I've got drivers for the trucks, but they'll need a hand at the depot.
I reckon enough of them will be in it. I thought the transport division was doing okay. I mean, why sell?
Well, it's not doing well enough to absorb the losses caused by the strike. I'm selling to a national company. They're big enough to write it off.
Where does that leave the stud?
Well, it should be all right. I'll use some of the money from the sale to help with Wayne's plans for Woombye, and the rest I'll use to expand my interests. Should be enough income from them to cope with any expenses at the stud.
Sounds fair enough. Well, we'll get back and sound out the others, huh?
You can talk to them. Look, I don't know anything about assets or investments, but I reckon I'm smart enough to know what you're really talking about. You're talking about strike breaking. I don't want anything to do with it.
Just kept walking.
An automatic tea maker and alarm clock. Should have saved their money. We got Mum and she doesn't cost a thing.
You know, it's not really fair on your mum, letting her run round after us.
Hey, I was only joking.
It's not, though. Like this morning when she brought me tea and toast, when I should have got up and got my own.
Yeah, but you shouldn't have to get up. You're sick in the morning.
Then you'll have to get up for me.
Me?
Well, one of us has to, otherwise I'll feel awful.
Yeah, okay, I'll do it.
David?
No, it's me.
What are you doing home?
Why am I so useless? I couldn't even last 2 days. Well, I've been fired again.
Oh, no. Well, what happened?
Oh, I went out at lunchtime and I bought these. I was sick of clomping around. I mean, sand shoes should be worn on tennis courts, not to work. Anyway, as soon as the boss saw them, he made me take them off, and I had to go and make a big deal out of it.
You certainly inherited your dad's stubborn streak.
Oh, I think I might have had a chance of talking him round if I hadn't already mucked up 3 things during the morning. He's probably glad of an excuse to get rid of me. Oh, I'll look for something else as soon as I can, I promise. That woman at the agency was right. I've got to learn to keep my big mouth shut.
Have a good ride?
Oh, yeah. Wonderful.
That's good.
I had a talk with Alan Pascoe when we got back.
Oh, yeah?
He was telling me you had a falling out with Gordon.
I always thought he was straight down the line. He wants to use scabs to load his trucks. It's even worse than that. He's asking the guys that work at the stud to do it.
Is he giving them a choice?
He says he is. I'll lay bets who still has their job in 6 months' time.
Oh, come on. You're jumping the gun a bit, aren't you? He's never lied to you before.
OK, look. Even if they do keep their jobs, he still shouldn't use scab labour.
Have you ever done anything you're not terribly proud of?
I suppose so.
Yeah, well, maybe Gordon's not terribly proud of what he's doing now. Alan was telling me he's got a few financial problems.
Apparently he's in big trouble if the strike keeps going.
Well, if that's the case, I'd say he wasn't making decisions lightly, wouldn't you?
Look, I'm not saying he is. That still doesn't make what he's doing right.
Well, if that's the way you see it, you'd better leave your job. Well, you can't sit on the fence, my darling. Either you respect him or you don't. Now, if you don't, it's far better that you quit. But if you do, then I think you owe him a fair hearing. Personally, I'd opt for the fair hearing.
Trish Hamilton.
It's John. Can I speak to Mr. Hamilton, please?
Have you rung to apologise?
Can I speak to him or can't I?
Why, I'm not sure. It's John. I can put him off if you like.
What can I do for you?
I was wondering if I could have a talk with you. Not on the phone.
Right, here?
might be a bit difficult.
I'll tell you what, I'm coming into town. How about I call in there?
That'd be great. Are you sure you don't mind?
Not at all. Say, about an hour.
Fine.
Next in the morning news, Ian Thorpe's tough call.
Gotcha!
I felt like a bit of cheering up.
I'll cheer you up. Come on, give us a laugh. Come on.
Stop it, you'll make me sick.
Well, at least I got you laughing was more than that was doing.
Angela got the sack again today.
How is she?
Think she feels she let us down?
Looks like I'll have to eat my words. Oh, some of the guys on the picket line were going about maybe getting a job to tie them over, so I had a go at them. I said you should put more time in down there, you know, so that we're all together.
Their families have to eat.
Yeah, so does ours. Should have kept my big mouth shut.
Maybe, I could look around for something.
It's up to me, hmm? Looks like John made the right decision after all.
How do you mean?
Sydney. Well, if he was still working at the depot, we'd be mixed up in it too. And that would mean another one on our hands.
Right, so we're lying here sleeping, right? Just like this. Go on, shut your eyes.
Don't be stupid.
Look, here I am trying to show you how smart I am, and you won't even go along with it. Now, come on, wait for it. Count down 10, 9, 8, 7, 6... Well, anyway, the tea's ready, and toast will be in a second, too. Nelson's prison wasn't such a bad idea after all, was it? Yeah, what do you think?
Smarty pants.
Oh, well, now everyone's happy. And you can have dry toast and tea till the cows come home. Mum doesn't have to worry. And I get to sleep in. Bother tea, slave.
Oh.
I work with blokes like that back in Melbourne. My dad's one of them. I couldn't do it. I don't think you've even tried to understand them.
Of course I have. We're all after the same thing, survival.
What about principles?
You think the men would be on strike if they didn't think they could win? They're no more prepared to go under for a principle than I am.
I'm still not going to help you.
That's fine. I meant what I said. There's no obligation on anyone at the start, and that includes you. If I don't go through with this plan, and the strike lasts the full 6 weeks, it means bankruptcy. Now, I'm too old for that, John. I'm not prepared to start again.
Doesn't look like we're going to agree, does it?
I still want to keep you on. You know that. But if you feel you can't, I'll understand. It's up to you.
Mr. Hamilton? If those blokes are anything like my father, you'd better be ready to have a fight on your hands tomorrow.
If that's what they want, that's what they get.
I'm sorry. You need another unemployed person around the place like you need a hole in the head.
Well, you're not wrong there, love, but we'll manage them.
All I've been since I arrived here is a nuisance.
Hey, come on.
Oh, it's true. I'm the reason John left. Susan doesn't come over because she doesn't like me. I make extra work for Beryl, and now I can't even help with the strike. I'm just so useless. It's all her fault.
Huh?
Oh, Mother. All she did was bring me up to marry some dope like Simon Armstrong. Who'd want to hire someone who doesn't even know how to work?
I think you're letting her get to you too much.
I wish she'd left me behind when she ran off. Maybe I wouldn't have grown up to be such a spoilt brat.
Oh, hey, come on. Now, that's not fair on you or your mum. That's better. At least you got out of wearing the uniform, huh?
Yeah. I guess I did.
Love is very strange. It can come and go.
It can happen when Andrew Gazer's gone. Now it's down to the final 3 on Dancing with the Stars and the last elimination before the grand final. Who'll make it through? The footy star, the chess champion, or the red-hot runner? It's the Dancing with the Stars semi-final, featuring a spectacular performance by the cast of Priscilla, live 7:30 tonight on 7. Next, the latest 7 morning news.
Tears and sadness and happiness. We will find out our sons and daughters are what we two were once about.